We're getting ready to start our hot water cornbread. We will look at the pot. I've started with the water. And then I'm going to add 1 stick of butter. My sister's going vegan, so no dairy, so I brought Earth Balance butter. So we're just going to add 1 stick. Of vegan butter to a pot of water. This is probably about a 6-quart pan, and I have it halfway full with water. We're going to add 1 stick of butter. And we're going to add some salt. Just shake it. We may have to add a little more salt when we taste it. And we're going to add some sugar. Okay. We're just going to add some sugar. I'm going to add 3. That should be enough. It's probably equal to 1 cup of sugar, but this little cup right here is a cup that I use for when I get applesauce or something. And we're just going to let that come to a rapid boil before we add our cornmeal. So the ingredients will be water, butter, salt, sugar, and cornmeal. Okay, so the water is boiling, as you can see. And we have basic yellow enriched cornmeal. I don't endorse any brand. If you're a cook, any brand will do. This happens to be a Safeway brand. And all you do is pour it like you're making grits. And remember, I told you there's 2 ways to make hot water cornbread. You can make it with all the ingredients in a bowl, your cornmeal, your butter, your salt and sugar. Then you can boil your water and add it. And all we're going to do is simply stir this and get it thick. You can use 2 utensils. You can use either a spoon or you can use a potato masher, whichever is comfortable to you. And all you're going to do is thicken the cornmeal. So a potato masher will help you keep it smooth. I'm going to lower my fire some so I don't get popping marks. Okay? And it's just going to cook to a thickness you like so we can pat it into patties. It's looking good. It's thick, so we have the right amount of water. We have the right amount of butter. Butter just keeps it where it's soft for you. And you want this thick so it can make balls or patties. I find now when I make it in the pot, it's so much better than having all these ingredients in a bowl and then mixing it. Because let's face it, some of us old Southern cooks are getting older and our wrist is not able to handle all the movements of this. I hear a lot of people call this hush puppies. They call it a Mexican dish. But this is really how most African Americans made the best of what they were given when they worked in the fields. They were giving cornmeal, they were giving flour. Rarely were they able to have eggs or milk. So thus, hot water cornbread was introduced. And you will find this as a staple for most Southern cooks. Look at the thickness of that bread. That's what you want to see. What cooks the meal? It's the hot water. Actually, that's a pretty good mix. It's really done. The water cooks the meal. The other ingredient is just to fry it. So, our next step will be showing you how I roll it and make hot water cornbread balls. And we can get creative. You can roll it any way you want. You really don't have to cook it much. That's why we boil the water. And I think that's a pretty good hot water cornbread mix. Most of you Southern cooks know it's okay to go ahead and taste your mixture. What are you tasting for? You're tasting for, see if it has enough salt, if it has enough sugar, and it's moist enough, and it's also thick enough. The reason I know it's moist enough is we did 1 whole stick of butter. Okay? Alright, I'm going to pause and go to the next step, which is rolling the cornbread. Okay, here's the fun part, making our patties. What we have to do is, this is very hot. It's extremely hot. See the steam? So, this is what you do. You dip your hands in a bowl of cold water. Some people have to put ice, you know, for the timid. And coat your hands in that cold water and then make your balls. Make them any way you want. Look how hot that is. Hot. Ooh, hot potato. If you ever played hot potato, this is what you do. Put water, roll it. You can stir the bread up a little. You have to do this when this is hot too. If you do it when it's cold, you've just messed up your whole hot water cornbread. The whole point of it is hot water. Cooking your cornbread. The water scopes it. Notice I like my hot water cornbread balls round. Other people like theirs big and flat, so this is where you can get creative. You can make them flat. These are for the people that like a lot of crunch. Shallow round piece. And of course we can get creative. This is really hot. Can't emphasize that enough. Say you're making hot water cornbread for the football game, which I know it's on. I'm making this on Sunday. Well, go ahead and make your hot water cornbread like football. Nothing wrong. Okay? And I'm telling you, if you make some fried fish, ooh, hot potato, some greens, some hot water cornbread, and some sweet potato pie for the football game, all the fellows that's watching it will probably go to sleep. There, we'll make another football. So get creative, do what you want. This is really hot, people. And you can make them any size you want. So here we're going with a bigger size because my grandmother made hers large, very large. Very large pieces of hot water cornbread, even bigger than that. I found as I got older, I didn't want mine like that. Can you guys see the steam still coming out from this pot? Let me see. Yeah, I see it. So when I say hot, I mean hot. You can even get creative and put impressions in it. Like get you a cookie cutter or a letter and put a C in front of it if you want. So, we used, I'm going to say about 6 cups of water. We use 1 stick of butter. We use about 1 cup of sugar. And meal. Simple ingredients: water, butter, sugar, salt, and the main ingredient, hot water cornbread. Yeah, have fun with it. Toss it like a ball, okay? Water seals it. And the great thing about making hot water cornbread is you can make it in advance. You can put it in the freezer, and you can cook it frozen. My preference is to deep fry it. You can pan fry it. That's not my preference. I'm from a large family. I'm from a family that had fish fries for up to 400 or 500 people. And there was one time I had to make 500 pieces of hot water cornbread. Most people want it fresh out the pot. When you get it fresh out the pot, oh my goodness. Let's go ahead and make a big one. In case we got another big guy there that wants a big piece. And then after that, we'll make some flatter pieces. There you go. My sister likes hers flat. Oh, and I should tell you, you can make this with white cornmeal if you like. I know there's a lot of people make it with white cornmeal. Now notice I made it round and then I just patted it. The water will seal it. There you go. Nice round flat piece. As I said, those are the crunchier pieces. All I'm doing is stirring the pot some. You can see the steam still coming. That water is cooking all whites like that. It is cooking your meal. For those of you who say, I've never had hot water cornbread, what does it taste like? A lot of people from the South eat grits with butter and salt. Some people eat it with butter, salt, and sugar. I hate grits with sugar. But I like my cornbread a little sweet. So this is similar to grits, and people fry grits, right? That's my favorite size right there. So, if you're a grit eater, then you will love hot water cornbread. Once you get hot water cornbread, you may never go back. That's what they say. I have some people only eat hot water cornbread. Like some people only eat buttermilk cornbread. This right here is just easy, divine, and tastes good. So this video, we boiled the water and then made up with it. Other people put it in a bowl. Like I say, when I was younger, I did put it in a bowl. That's not my preference anymore. There you go, still hot. You want this bread hot to the last bitter end. And it molds quickly, just like Play-Doh or anything. And if you cook it right in the pot, nothing should stick. You won't have a dirty pot. It's getting a little cooler where I don't need water, but go ahead and add the water because the water forms it, keeps it in one piece. Got my hand in there, but my hand is hot. I'm sorry, I'm old school. The noise of the pots don't bother me. Nothing like a cook with a dirty apron and noisy pots. You know they're in there doing something. Modern cooks, they cook out of box. They don't make no noise. They don't chop nothing. It's just what it is. I don't mind a cook with a dirty apron. How about you? Leave comments in the bottom if you like a cook with a dirty apron. As long as they take it off before they go to bed, I'm good. But if you got a cook that got some southern roots, Louisiana roots, that can cook like this, oh wow, you better bless your cook. Bless your cook, we're a lost generation. We're a lost generation unless we're doing a video on YouTube for people. I'm going to show you the bottom of the pot. I'm almost there. And then we're going to count how many pieces of cornbread we made. I think we're going to count if I feel like counting. This is the bottom of the pot. All I got to do is, this pot is hot, crumble this together. See how it all comes out? Well, this is an old pot too. I want everybody to run out to the Goodwill if it's open. But them old pots that your mama used ain't got nothing on these new pots that are stick-free, gel-free, and cook-free. That's what I call them. They cook-free pots. You can even have people that burn in these non-stick pots. That's the last one, people. We made it a big one. Alright, I'm going to move these in the sink. I'm sorry, I don't mean to make that much noise. I'm going to move these in the sink and I'm going to show you the finished product. There's our finished product. So what did we make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. We made 23 pieces, and out of the 23 pieces, we made 2 footballs. I just go ahead and lay them on a cookie sheet, parchment paper below. You can let them cool before you put them in the freezer. You can freeze them up to 6 months, it doesn't matter. Alright, that's the finished product, hot water cornbread. All we need to do, people, is fry it. Okay, we're ready to start frying the hot water cornbread. You get the grease hot. I think the grease is hot. I know some of you new cooks like to test the grease, not me. I wait till all those popping sounds. And in this pot we can add about 4 pieces, so let's drop one and see what happens. As you can see, it's frying very nicely. Pot of greens in the back, pork chops in the oven, but let's get to the hot water cornbread. That's what's important, not what's for dinner tonight, right? Okay, second piece. Go ahead and drop it gently. Third piece. And we'll go ahead with the fourth piece. We may have space to do one more. My normal is 4 pieces, but let's go ahead and do 5. I think the friends are hungry. Meanwhile, I'm gonna look for me an onion to be cutting up for my greens. They're coming along nicely, but there's a little more seasonings I could put in them. I'm going to throw some seasoning from the bacon. Alright, so we're going to let that sizzle and fry, and then we'll show you the finished product. Oh, by the way, all this little brown on this pot, this is what you call a seasoned pot. A Louisiana cook wouldn't want to do nothing with it. There were times when my dad worked at the airport, he would go, he worked in the mechanic shop, and he would blast all that off and you get a brand new stainless steel pot, but then you had to break it in and season it again. So it's nothing wrong with a seasoned pot. Alright, so hang on and we'll see the finished product. We're gonna go ahead and just test our cornbread, see where we're going, how they're doing. Seem to be doing great. They're not sticking, so the grease was hot. One reason your bread may stick is your grease is not hot. fire's too low. So you want to make sure your fire is hot and your bread is evenly spaced. So 5 was not too many for that, and we'll check back on it in a minute. Okay, we're going to go ahead and see if the bread is ready. I apologize, this is my first cooking video, so I accidentally cut the first video off. So we're continuing with the same pot of bread. Now I'm going to show you a variation. This is the color I like mine. Nice and golden. Nothing stuck together. Yet different people like different things. So some people like their bread a little browner, like my sister. So the next set I will show you a browner version. My greens have some seasoning in it. Gonna let those simmer, get me a top. Finishing putting my essential seasonings. And let's go ahead. And there are the 4 pieces of cornbread. 5, huh? So let's go ahead and add 5 more. Well, you may do 4 because we're going to do that big long one we did. Go ahead and drop it in. It's fine. I like to wait till mine bubble so it gives it a little individuality. Make sure they don't stick together. And there it is bubbling. Let's add one on the side. It's okay to take the spoon and go ahead and move it. It's already molded. Very good. And let's get 2 more. Just 1 more. And I'm going to wait till that bubble. And I'm going to get 1 more. Meanwhile, the pork chops are cooking. Oh wow. Give you an idea of the baked pork chops. They're looking good. We'll take you that way in the oven. Alright. So there you have. They're sizzling. They have special seasoning and they're cooking at 375. Okay, they're so thick that I cut them in half. I don't really like them that thick. I didn't grow up in a rich family, so no need in acting like I'm rich now. Alright, so we got the second hot water cornbread. We'll cook it a little browner so you can see the variation. Let's just deviate for a minute and look at the hot water corn. Boy, I've got a one-track mind. That's the pork chops. Let's walk over to the stove and look at the hot water cornbread. Okay, let's see how it's coming along. Remember, we're going to make it darker. Alright? This was on purpose. It's not burnt. This just shows you the variation on how people like their hot water cornbread. Can you see the difference? Some people like theirs browner. I like mine golden. And here's that flat one. All you do is drain it. Here's that big flat one. Okay? And we still have 4 pieces in there. This I call the burnt version. But this is what my sister called, oh, you cooked it just right. So, you know, it's just like some people like burnt popcorn. Some people like burnt cornbread. Alright? Today is football day, so we've got to make football. 49ers versus the Cardinals are on. So this is a current video. I think the date is October 9th or 10th or something like that. What? I'm doing a video right now. All right, I gotta. Hello, family and friends. I'm sorry that the video had to end abruptly, but my caregiver had an important call that she had to handle. But if you enjoyed watching the video, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, thumbs up, and share with your family and friends. I hope you have a great day. Bye.